Hi guys, welcome back to another fantastic episode of Two Wacky Pundits, Dr. D and Dr. A.
Well, I wouldn't call it fantastic, but it's good enough.
Fantastic.
It's good enough.
We're still fucking alive.
Yes.
So
amazing we got this far.
COVID free for now.
Yes.
Touch wood. So
I'm taking precautions anyway, but yeah, we're
COVID free. I know. Locking ourselves up.
Yeah.
That's it.
Throwing away the key.
Yeah.
Today I wish to touch upon this Valentine's mania.
Okay.
And the topic of love, as exemplified by this book.
So what's the name? The Arrow?
The Arrow by Christopher Morley.
Okay.
This is an example of what you should not be reading.
Should not
be reading.
Okay. That sounds interesting already.
It's a soppy, sentimental, cloying trudge of a book. Really written by a young, moonstruck guy who travels to Britain, an American who travels to Britain by ship, and then finds the love of his life, goes to Piccadilly Circus and is transfixed by an invisible arrow from the statue of Eros.
Okay.
In Piccadilly Circus, you will remember.
Okay, probably, yeah.
There's a statue of this young Cupid.
Yeah.
He has an arrow drawn, and he's transfixed by this invisible arrow, and he only manages to get rid of it when he finds the love of his life later on in the book.
All right.
Really, that's all there is to it.
So what happened? The arrow went through his head, or
it went through his heart, and it stayed there, and he has
virtually.
Virtually, obviously, it's all an allegory.
Yeah.
He's trying to make a point. He manages to stab a few people with the invisible arrow.
Really? Well, that's a good thing, at least.
He tries to turn it into a comedy, but it ends up very badly. It's really quite disgusting.
So like this is the early version of your Twopence.
I don't know how I managed to get hold of this book.
Romance books, what I called last time.
Yes, this is not a good idea.
The grandfather of them.
Of what you should be reading. And there's an example that the older book it's not necessarily better.
Okay. Can you give us a few samples? Let's read a little bit from it. A few quotes.
I'll give you a few good samples.
Some soppy quotes.
Few good things about this book, because if I were to read the bad things, I would take up all
stuff.
He says, no bad companion, bad is B-E-D, no bad companion is so soothing as a book you don't intend to read. He's being lyrical at this point. I mean, it's a good effort on his part, on Christopher Morley's part.
Okay, what else?
He said, this primitive cycle of movement seemed a part of the secret rhymes of biology. Now he understood why sailors often feel ill when they reach the dull, flat solidity of Earth.
Okay.
Because when he was on the ship, he felt like he was in the cradle of life.
Okay.
For suddenly, at the heart of that unsteady clamor, he lay infinitely at peace. The dull crash of these huge pistons was an unnearing music. The grave plunging of the ship was perfect rest. He lay trembling with happiness in what he described rather oddly as a kind of piety, a physical piety. Again, he's describing the ship. I don't know whether there's...
Does he describe the girl that he freaks out for and falls in love with and whatnot?
He mentions a skirt and a dress at some point. I mean, he's so lustful, he's so young, he's so inexperienced, that even a dress can conjure up images of love in his head.
What's that?
To be in so great a city, London, unknown and unregarded, was to have the privileged attachment of a god. It was a cleansing and perspective experience, one which few of our gregarious race properly relish. He had no business to transact, no errand to accomplish, no duty to perform, only to enjoy, to observe, to live in the devotion of the eye. So in his quiet way he entered unsuspected into circulation, passing like a well-counterfeited coin. It's really not that bad when you consider everything, but the topic of the book...
Let's say, as for creative writing, his writing is good.
We'll
give him a 7 out of 10 for that.
But the topic is pathetic.
But kind of sucks ass. Okay. Well, it's like, it's like being very idealistic and naively optimistic about
It's like when they asked
love and
an author whether the university stifles writers. And he said, in my opinion, they don't stifle enough of them.
oh,
They
okay.
should be stifling more of them
Okay.
because of this stuff, particularly because of this stuff. Too many people sit down and write when they have not stood up and lived. That's the problem. They think they have a right to be writers, but they don't have any actual life experience to back it up.
To talk about it.
To back it up.
Yeah. But you do have some decent people that and poets that
Oh, definitely.
manage to pull it off. Like, for example,
like
Amanda Gorm.
Charles Bukowski, for instance,
Yeah.
is a great poet. He had a very hard scrabble life, and he managed to distill all that in his poems, which are very, very gritty. Just like your music,
Yeah.
very gritty, very, very powerful, very damaged.
Thought-provoking.
Damaged.
Thought-provoking, yeah.
True.
Okay, cool. So,
In the spirit of Valentine's, I would also like to direct you towards a movie which I saw not recently. Actually, it was a while ago, but I saw it again. It's called Amour. It's a French movie about love, about real love.
Okay.
It's by Michael Haneke, 2012,
uh-huh.
where the husband ends up killing his wife,
Ugh.
his paraplegic wife, who had a
Okay.
stroke, with a pillow.
Wow.
That's true love for you. That's the meaning of true love for me.
Wow.
When
Stop suffering.
he stopped her suffering, he stopped her indignity by ending her life.
That's some hardcore stuff for you for this Valentine's. So
That's Valentine's for us.
So okay. So you have any ideas for your next session? What you
For
have
my
planned
next
for us?
session,
So we'll
I have-
prepare ourselves.
Unfortunately, I have another book. I mean, this is what I do. I read. That's what I do. So I will just be perusing and describing books for you.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
It's
But do you have another theme in mind for the next one?
positive thinking.
Positive thing. I like that. Okay.
It's a book against positive thinking, eh?
All right. Okay.
Not about.
Oh man. All right. I had some
Against
high hopes for that.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, this is going to be interesting. And who's the
I
author?
hope so. She's an American of German descent called Barbara Eichenreich.
I can't. Okay.
Eichenreich.
All right. German descent.
Yeah, she's actually a feminist.
Okay.
I don't like feminists, but she writes good books, so
All right,
I'll
fair
have to give her that.
What's due is due.
What's due is due, that's right.
Okay. All right, guys. So I think we
should wrap it up for
we're
today.
done for today. Don't forget, if you want to be our first one, we're all here waiting for your ass to kick.
Please,
Verbally,
please,
of course. And hope you stay tuned for the next episode. Goodbye for now.
May your God be with you.
Indeed. Bye.